James Turner for the untouchable True School Sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is my official post-fight review for Diego Pacheco versus Sulecki, and the result of the fight is a devastating one-punch liver shot knockout to the body for Diego Pacheco of Sulecki. He does what Demetrius Andrade couldn't do 5 years ago. He does what Daniel Jacobs couldn't do, what was it, like 6 years ago. And he stops a very tough, very durable, very experienced fighter, hands down the most experienced fighter of his career at the world level. You know, Sulecki's a veteran of 34 pro fights, so no small feat there. Now, before we get into like what was said about Canelo and him fighting Munguia and what could be next for Pacheco on the horizon, let's talk about the performance itself. Only 6 rounds to dissect, but I thought this was definitely a much more sharper, much more concentrated Diego Pacheco. The guy from the last fight, the Sean McCallum fight, seemed to really and truthfully just lack that sharpness that I'm used to. You know, I've been high on Diego Pacheco for a lot of years. Back when I was making my prospect review video about him, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was. I said that Diego Pacheco was Eddie Hearn's best American prospect at that time. And I still stand by that, even though Raymond Ford's wanted to become champion and whatnot. And this kind of performance, it gives me encouragement. It gives me hope that, okay, Diego Pacheco still is that guy, you know, for matchroom boxing when it comes to the American talent they do have, right? So when we talk about Pacheco in this fight, you know, worked very patiently behind the jab. Funny enough, I thought that he would get the stoppage in this fight because Sulecki was a, you know, down the middle fighter, you know, a 1-2 straight punch down the middle fighter. So I thought that Pacheco with the youth and speed advantage would eventually counterpunch him in the middle later rounds and knock him out, but to the head, not to the body. I wasn't expecting a one-punch knockout body punch by Diego Pacheco, but credit to him. He showed a lot of experience and IQ this fight because Sulecki wasn't giving him that body early, you know, so Pacheco had to work behind a very disciplined jab, a double jab, straight right hand down the middle. And then eventually, once he got Sulecki to expect that, and the guard came a little higher, that's when he dropped the kill shot, the liver shot to the body. So I would say thus far in his career, this has to be the best and most devastating knockout for Diego Pacheco, and it comes against the most experienced and most credible guy so far on his resume. So yeah, shout out to him. Sulecki's not an easy guy to stop or look good against, you know. So he gets the win. Now he's 22-0, 18 knockouts. He's your #1 WBO super middleweight contender. And Eddie Hearn had a whole lot to say in that post-fight interview. He stated that, you know, Diego Pacheco is ready for anybody in the world. You know, that they don't expect to fight Canelo next because Canelo has to fight Berlanga, and Canelo will probably wait a little bit to fight till next year. So in the intermediate period, he wants to give Diego Pacheco a big step up in class, and that big step up in class he wants to give Pacheco specifically is Munguia. Now, Munguia's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he can't overlook his fight. He's got to fight Eric Bazinian, and Eric Bazinian is a big time puncher, and you know, Munguia is not careful in those exchanges, Munguia might lose again. You know, so with that being said, if Munguia comes through that tough fight against Bazinian, who by the way, if you've never seen Eric Bazinian fight, dude's a dynamite puncher. But if he gets past that fight, I do think Pacheco and Munguia is a good event. It's a good fight, not just in the ring, but commercially, it's a good fight for the LA area, Southern California area. You know, Mexican American. Those fights always make sense if the two guys at a high level that are fun to watch. So, I think that's, you know, people may disagree with me. I think you would have to probably say Munguia would go in as a slight favorite in that fight because of his experience and fighting guys like Canelo and Rosado and Derevyanchenko and things like that. You got to favor him for those reasons. But when it comes to the skills department, I think Diego Pacheco, right now at 23 years old, at 22 fights in the pro ranks, has everything it takes to beat a Munguia. He's filling out nicely, you know, as far as his body. You know, has a good, educated, sharp jab. He's a versatile puncher. You know, he's not just a guy that can knock you out with a straight right hand or a left hook, but, you know, as we learned tonight, if you're not careful, he can knock you out to the body. So, you know, those are probably some things that he's picked up being around the Benavidez camp a lot. So, you know, shout out to him, man. I got a lot of love for Diego Pacheco, and I'm very happy for him. Eddie Hearn said that, look, at some point in time, Diego Pacheco is going to be called the mandatory challenger for the WBO. So whether it's Canelo Alvarez, like most expect, or Edgar Berlanga if he comes to that fight, Pacheco versus Canelo or Pacheco versus Berlanga is a big fight. This is all according to Eddie Hearn, but I'm happy for him, man. This is someone that I really am a big fan of, that I still am high on. You know, I was a bit discouraged watching the Sean McCallum fight, but then, you know, the news came out that he had just had his kid around that time, so that could have explained why he had a letdown in performance. But, you know, he won the fight clearly, so it wasn't like he was like he got a get decision or anything like that. But yeah, when I look at Diego Pacheco, I still see a guy that's a long, rangy, dynamite boxer puncher with deep amateur experience and pedigree to boot. So this is not somebody that you can take lightly. This is not someone that I think should be overlooked. And I'm looking very forward to seeing him in a step-up fight. You know, ideally, I always wanted to see him fight Berlanga, but Berlanga got the Canelo fight. So it's unfortunate because that would have been the ideal, like, progression towards the Canelo fight. But Munguia, Bosnian winner, perfect. Still to me, a very good step up, and it'll tell us a lot about where he's at and if he's ready for that world-class, top-shelf, creme de la creme level. I mean, look, Pacheco, it feels like he's older than he's really been because, you know, he's been highly publicized since he turned pro, but the Diego Pacheco has been professional now for, we're talking about 6 years already, so time's just flying by. We're having a lot of fun covering his career here on True School Sports. But let me know what you guys think. What did you guys think about the Sulecki fight, and what do you think about potential matchups for Pacheco against the likes of Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez, you know, Eric Bosnian if he comes to those fights, or Edgar Berlanga if he shocks the world. Those are all 4 potential fights for him in the next 1 or 2 fights. So, yeah, man. Last thing on the Canelo fight. Look, I know people say he's young, he's 23, and you know what? If that paperwork gets passed and it's time to strap up and fight Canelo, then this is what you live for, right? Like, why waste time? I'm getting tired of promoters and matchmakers babying fighters. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya was in big-time fights when he was 23. Some of the greatest fighters of all time were in fights younger than that. So if this is what you sign up for and you've been grooming them for, and you've been getting top sparring and keeping them as active as any fighter in American boxing, and look, if that paperwork gets passed, there shouldn't be no safety on that Glock. You gotta know what you have and trust what you have. So I'll leave it at that in regards to Pacheco versus Canelo. But yeah, great. Nonetheless, really good performance from him. Really good night at the office for him. And yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canada, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.